You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace.
Hey loves, welcome back to the Sensual Genius channel. In this video, I'm going to do 5 romance movies with toxic couples. The first one on my list is Why Did I Get Married? 1 and 2, the first one and the second one. And I know the first people that y'all are probably thinking about is Angela and, what's his name? Angela and her husband. I can't remember his name right now, but that's not the couple who I'm thinking about. So in this video, I'm going to do couples that seemed like they were good for each other, but they were actually toxic. Not the couples who were in our face toxic and like not those couples, but the ones who seemed perfect, but were toxic. And of course, the 2 I'm focusing on from this series is Patricia and what was her husband name? And her husband. Patricia and dang, I forgot his name. Her husband. I feel like most of it was her. I feel like she came off like she was the dutiful wife and she was a good wife. And she really wasn't. Like, she really wasn't. The way that she talked to him, well, I want to say, first of all, the thing that happened between them when it came to their child, I don't remember if it was a little boy or a little girl, and like, him resenting her and blaming her for the death of their child, even though it was an accident, that's problematic, number 1. Number 2, the fact that they pretended to be healed through that situation, but behind closed doors, they were throwing like daggers at each other about it. That also shows that they are toxic. And just the way that they communicated with each other whenever they were frustrated, whenever they were talking about something that caused them both pain, the way that they communicated with each other was very toxic. To say that she was a therapist, also the fact that she was a therapist and she would pretty much like treat him like he was one of her patients. It was very unfair and it was very condescending or whatever. And that's basically why I chose them, because I felt like they were pretending, putting on like they had it all figured out and they had it together, and really they didn't. And honestly, their relationship was more fragile than everybody else's. You had Angela and her husband who literally would bicker all day, who had a stronger relationship than the 2 of them, which was crazy. And they were supposed to be the most toxic couple, but to me, they were the most stereotypical toxic. But those other couples had their issues. I feel like the only couple in that movie series that weren't really toxic was, Sheila and the sheriff. Sheila and the sheriff. They were the only couple on there that, and of course they were a new couple or whatever, but I just kind of feel like they were the only ones. Everybody had their issues. Diane and was it Terry had their issues as well. Like her being insecure about about his, assistant, him, prioritizing his work. And y'all already know, Angela and her husband were toxic. The baby mama drama, the STD thing, the cheating thing, they were the most stereotypical toxic. But the second, couple is Q and Monica from Love and Basketball. Y'all already know, I've talked about this. I cannot stand that movie because it kind of showed you, it kind of romanticized struggle love. Like, Monica literally chased Q from when she was a little girl. And then when his career ended, that was when he decided to finally choose her. And to me, I feel like he did it so he could live vicariously through her since his career was over. And I feel like it was unfair for him to end up with her. Everything that she went through since she was a little girl behind this man, and him not choosing her, him always choosing another woman over her. But the minute that his career is over and he's in the he isn't in the spotlight anymore, him all of a sudden wanting to be with her and like them being together and starting a family together and him being able to share her spotlight, I didn't like it. Like, I really and truly, I just feel like that was toxic. He was toxic. She deserved better. And I feel like that struggle love was romanticized. The third one is Dina and Curtis from Dreamgirls. Am I the only one who felt this way? But I felt like Curtis actually loved Effie. The way that Curtis looked at Effie when they were together compared to the way that he looked at Dina when they were together was not the same to me. He had a more empathetic, compassionate, like loving look in his eyes when he looked at Effie, but Dina was a product to him. She was a product, even down to him singing that song, "When I first saw you, I said, oh my, that's my dream." That's all she was to him. That's all she was. She was a dream to him. She was a product to him. He pretty much groomed her to be the trophy wife that he thought he deserved. And honestly, because when he got with her, his life he did get a boost in his life or whatever. Like, things changed. Like, of course, a lot of it was him making it happen, but a lot of people was buying what he was selling when he put her to the forefront. But that's why he put her to the forefront. And that's also why he started dating her, because he felt like she was his meal ticket. She was his way to get to his dream. And he was right. She was, because back then, like, it was a lot about looks. It's still like that now. And they liked how she looked. She was more palatable to the white audience, to the white gaze. And he chose to leave a woman that he seemed to actually love and actually value to get with this woman because she represented the life that he always wanted, the man that he always wanted to be. And I feel like that's what made it so toxic to me. The fourth one is, what his name was on Brown Sugar. Reese and Tay Diggs' character. I can't remember his name. What his name was on there. They were toxic. Like, Brown Sugar to me is not really a toxic romance movie, but the aspect of it that was toxic was, Tay Diggs and, what her name is? Nicole. That relationship was really toxic. At first, he kind of came off like he had won the jackpot by marrying her or whatever, but as the movie went on, you saw his insecurities shining through and also the flaws in their relationship. But the fact that he was dragging Sanaa Lathan's character into their mess was very messy and it was very toxic. The way that he handled things, the fact that once he busted her for cheating, or once he got tired of her cheating, he tried to cheat with his friend. Like, not tried to cheat. He kissed her. But I think it was him that was like, yeah, I can't do this or whatever, and left. But like, he kissed her. And the way he handled that just wasn't cool to me, but I'm not gonna give him a big flag for it because he did stop himself before it went too far. But that relationship between the two of them was so toxic because instead of like talking about their issues or accepting the fact that, we shouldn't be together, we're not happy, they was like playing these little games with each other, like he popping up on her while she's on a date with another man and bringing his best friend with him, roping her into things with her not really knowing what's going on, and like using that as an excuse to make a move on her. But also it was toxic because he knew that he was in love with this girl since they were little. He knew this. and he acted like he wasn't. He was jealous anytime she brought another man around. It was okay for him to get married, but he was jealous whenever she brought somebody around. And he was toxic for that. And she was toxic for playing into a lot of the things that he was doing. And like just being along for the ride with a lot of the things that he was doing. But I guess that's how friends think that's what friends think that they're supposed to do for each other. Not me. I'm not one of those friends that you finna do all that type of stuff with. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not one of them friends, okay? Absolutely not. The last movie on my list is The Brothers. And I kind of feel like all of those relationships were toxic. From D.L. Hughley and his wife fighting over sex and wanting to get a divorce over not being fulfilled sexually when all they had to do was really communicate with each other and give each other what each other wanted and needed. It was so simple. Like the fix for their marriage was so simple, but they literally went through with a divorce and then realized that they didn't want to be divorced because he realized the grass was not greener on the other side. And she realized that, yeah, my husband deserves to get what he desires from me. Like, yeah, there are some non-negotiables, but something as simple as head, bro. You about to like get a divorce because you don't want to give your husband head. Grow up. Grow up. And I know I'm not shaming nobody when it comes to sex. You don't like doing it. You don't want to do it. That's your prerogative. But get with somebody who don't want it. Why would you be with somebody who you know want it and who you know like it and expect them to just accept the fact that you don't want to do it? That's selfish. That's very selfish. Get with somebody who don't care about it. It's a lot of people who don't like oral sex, okay? It's not hard to find people. But don't get in a relationship with somebody and like they're telling you what they want sexually, because sex is important. Do I feel like it's I was about to say, do I feel like it's important enough to break up your relationship? I was about to say no, but yeah, it is. It is. If it's that important to you, yeah, it is. But I feel like that's why sexual compatibility is important in relationships as well. Get with somebody who don't care about it. Don't get with somebody who you know care about it, who you know want it, who you know desire it, and then you make it seem like one of these days you're just gonna do it. Cause she was leading him on at first, and then she just was like, absolutely not, I'm not doing it. I don't do that, whatever. I'm a woman of God. Girl, you're married. Shut up. And get that man some head. Stop acting childish. Like, that was the most childish thing to me. But also, you have Shamar Moore character getting married and not being ready for marriage. Like, he literally still considers himself, and I want to say this too, I kind of feel like the friend, Brian, the one who was like talking all of this stuff about, oh, you Terry, you said you would never get married, whatever, and he started reading the poem. I feel like he influenced him a lot. He put a lot of fear in him, a lot, and I feel like your friends will do that, but especially men, y'all do that to each other when it comes to marriage. Y'all make y'all friends seem like they're not cool anymore because they want to get married. And, oh, you used to be a player. You said you would never get married. Bro, I was a kid. I was young when I was saying that stuff. Why are you holding that over my head? Like, I just feel like it was so bogus of him to try to make it seem like he wasn't cool just because he wanted to say marry somebody. And he really got into that man's head. But at the same time, Terry also had some healing to do. He wasn't ready for marriage. Also, Brian pretending that he didn't want a committed relationship and making it seem like, sex was just enough for him was some BS. And it's a lot of you men who walk around spreading that, and it's propaganda. Because y'all be wanting people to think so bad that y'all are just void of emotions and, oh, we are not emotional creatures and we don't need this and we don't need that. It's BS. Cause if that was the case, the divide would not be what it is. And that's all I'm gonna say. It wouldn't be what it is. It's not just a one-sided thing, so we're not gonna just act like it's a one-sided thing. But I do not believe that men are different from women when it comes to sex. I don't believe it. Because why do y'all select specific women to have sex with you when you know that you claim you only want sex, but you will go after a woman who you can look at her and see the love in her eyes. You can see that she wants more. You know she wants more. You know she's the type. Why don't y'all just get with women who want the same things y'all want? Y'all will get with women who y'all know want more than that, and then y'all will try to force them to accept whatever little y'all are willing to give them. Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all think y'all do that? Huh? Y'all think y'all do that because what? What have y'all convinced yourselves that y'all do that for? Cause y'all be wanting love low key, but y'all be terrified of it. But anyway, that's the end of my list or whatever. I can go on, but I don't want to make the video too long. I also want to mention what his name is, Morris Chestnut's character. I actually understand the fear that he felt when he thought that his dad and this girl that he never was in love with nobody. He finally falls in love and he finds out that his dad had a relationship with her. And he knew his daddy was a player, so I understood the line of thinking that he went into when he found out. But I do feel like the way that he treated her after he did was messed up. And if it was me, I wouldn't have given him another chance. I wouldn't have chased him like she did. I wouldn't have given him another chance. No, absolutely not. Like he basically was calling her a whore and all type of stuff, not really letting her finish what she wanted to say, not really allowing her to tell him the truth. He didn't want to hear it because he was in love with her and he was afraid that the first woman that I fell in love with was with my daddy. But to each their own. But that's the end of my list. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this video. What other romance movies do y'all feel had toxic couples? And if y'all want me to do a part 2, I can, cause it's so many. It's so many. I had a hard time just narrowing it down or whatever, cause it was so many. But that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!
Before you go, check out my website at srgraham.org and subscribe to my mailing list to get exclusive updates on works in progress, other news, and blog posts. Thank you.